Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to go ahead and get into a collective general energy message. And as I'm shuffling the cards, we already have the death card wanting to make an appearance in the reading. For those that are not familiar with tarot, the death card symbolizes a big change. This is something that needs to come to an end, that is a catalyst to transformation. This is an energy that shows that there is something that you know because you have to know, right? That that something needs to leave your life. And this is typically an area where you'll feel a lot of resistance in. Like you'll feel this energy of wanting to make it work, of wanting to really improve this situation, and of even not giving yourself the enough credit for already trying so hard to make it work. So the death card really symbolizes resistance to change, but it's nonetheless change that's necessary. So if this resonates with you, if you're struggling with moving forward from something that's important to you, but that you know has run its course in your life, this is a reading for you. So we're going to go ahead and get into the actual spread. And so situation here, look at this, is the Two of Wands. And Two of Wands speaks about planning. Okay, so the situation speaks about you being able to really get on this creative energy. And what I mean by creative is how can you brainstorm solutions on what to do next when this thing is over, or on how to get out of this situation? Spirit is asking you to get very crafty, to really spend time on visualizing what would you like for your life to look like, so that way you're able to give yourself the strength to say, you know what, I do see myself in a different predicament. I do see myself getting out of this situation. This is an energy that inspires you to take action, but it still symbolizes that you're in a planning phase. So take advantage of the planning phase. So if you're feeling stuck, maybe being stuck is the perfect opportunity for you to do the research on what other options could be there for you. Okay, so being physically stuck doesn't mean that mentally and from the heart space you have to be immobilized, right? You can take action in different ways as everything goes in phases, right? And then we have here as the reason why this is happening is this Eight of Swords. So you're being called, right, to see that there is this level of transformation that needs to happen in your life, that something has to come to an end, right? This uncomfortable feeling where you feel resistance. The reason why this is happening is because you have been a mental prisoner. Some of you guys have been really stuck in this situation, very stressed out. Maybe you feel like you are between a wall and a sword and you can't move, right? So the message that the Eight of Swords brings us to this reading is that no matter how difficult the circumstances are in your life currently at this very moment, in our minds, we make it 10 times worse. And this is the imprisonment energy of the Eight of Swords. So for those that don't know tarot, the Eight of Swords, the swords itself, right, that suit of swords represents our thought process, our mind space. So this is the energy of someone being very restricted by their own worst case scenario. Granted, you are there because of obvious external circumstances that are not to control to you. But the one thing you can control is your mind. So Spirit is asking you, yes, this might be some turbulent water, some turbulent energies in your life right now, but how can you become a master of your mind? How can you become a master of self? How can you regulate yourself so you're not constantly in this I am a prisoner of my own reality type of energy, right? So very interesting energy. Now we're going to pull a card that's actually going to be a message from your spirit guides. So wow, look at this, you guys, the strength. I absolutely love that. So the strength is a really beautiful energy because it talks about being able to tame the ego with your intuition. What do I mean by that? What I mean is at times our egos need to take a step back. The reason why is because the ego is there to protect us. The ego is not our enemy. But if you let the ego take control, it will constantly keep you in constriction and restriction. The strength symbolizes that there is more to you than just your defense mechanisms, that there is more to you than just what you know. There is so much more power within you, so much more strength within you. And the strength is graceful, is subtle but consistent. It is strong but yet delicate, right? So if you don't really tame this ego, and you don't allow your intuition to show you the way, that you're going to be stuck in the same pattern. Now, the strength is a positive omen. This is a major arcana card that shows that you have what it takes to get through this. So always believe in yourself. That is a message from your guides. So beautiful, beautiful energy. Now, the possible outcome here, look at this. We have Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is an energy that talks about the past. Okay, so this is about revising something. Maybe there's something that you need to go back to, maybe a conversation with someone that you need to have. The Six of Cups actually symbolize childhood. It also symbolizes relationship with siblings. It could be a younger sibling, but regardless, this is an energy that makes you reminisce and be a little bit melancholic about the past. But there could be a cue, a sign, a lesson from the past that you need to really understand, or you need to really digest, so you're able to move forward with this death energy that's showing up in the reading, right? The death is complete renewal. So even though the death can be very intense, very uncomfortable, it always brings the energy of a new beginning, of a clean slate. New beginnings, yeah, who wants to hear that, right? It's so cliche, but this is about being able to break out of what's familiar. Just because something is familiar, or just because something is quote unquote normal, doesn't mean that it's okay. So, this is where you break that pattern of feeling like, well, because I'm used to this is what is supposed to be. No, you're used to this, maybe. You have seen this over and over again, maybe so. But that does not mean that it's the only way that you should be living your life. Okay. So definitely energy of the past showing up here. Let's get a bit deeper into the outcome, my loves. And thank you for watching if you made it this far. So let's see. So the death, look at this, Nine of Swords. Lots of mental anguish. Nine of Swords, it could be that something has been bothering you from a long time ago. Maybe something that you haven't been really spoken about. Maybe there is a conversation that you haven't had with someone for whatever reason that needs to be let out. Maybe you need to give yourself closure from a situation. But nonetheless, the Nine of Swords is a really tough energy because it shows that you are losing sleep over something. Something's really stressing you out. And it shows that it's from the past. Look at this, Ten of Swords. I love seeing this. So the Ten of Swords typically has a bad rep because it's a harsh ending, right? But you have now two cards that are showing up saying that there is an ending to something, and this is what this is saying. It's like endings are uncomfortable, but you're putting an end to a cycle that has not been good for you. So that is what's showing up in the reading per se. And look, then you have the Star. And the Star, it talks about renewal, it talks about rejuvenation, it talks about faith, and it talks about believing in yourself, right? And this is about also understanding that you really can't move forward without tending to your wounds. You really can't move forward without giving yourself the space to heal, right? Because the Star is all about healing. Now, one thing I love about the Star card is that the planet Uranus has a lot of influence in this card because this card represents Aquarius. And Aquarius is a sign that is very unconventional, that is very innovative, and it's a sign that is very much, about learning new things and about the information acquisition. And this is essentially a whole message for you, is to say, be curious about life, be curious about how would you like things to look like for you, and never settle for what you're not happy with, right? So very beautiful energy. Now let's go ahead and draw the last card for you, okay? There we go. We have, oh, look at this. Four of Wands. And Four of Wands is a beautiful omen because it talks about celebration. It talks about accomplishment. It talks about a new milestone. It talks about being able to celebrate and to see the victory in things, even if things don't look how you normally would want them to. This is about being accustomed to new normals, but also accepting that things change, and that does not mean that is a negative thing. Okay. So, with that being said, my loves, please let me know if this reading resonated with you in any kind of way. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you have made it this far, I would appreciate if you like or subscribe if you resonated with the reading. And I will see you guys on your next reading. Bye.